Hello, and thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk about 5 weird things I had to do as an executive assistant that were way out of my position description scope. The first 3 weird things were requested by the same executive I worked for, who was the CEO of a finance company. But before I get started, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe and like my channel. Okay, let's get started. Number 1. I was asked by my executive to dress up in our company mascot outfit and go out and greet strangers. It was a very hot day. I was covered from head to toe. The head of this mascot outfit was made from a motorbike helmet, and I felt like I was going to suffocate. I was asked to do it again on another day, but I refused to do it. Number 2. I was leaving the office to go home one evening when my executive called me into his office and asked me to make breakfast the next morning for all the staff members that worked in the building. There were 75 of us. That meant I had to purchase the ingredients on the way home and then bring them to work early next morning so I could prepare the ingredients and start cooking. I ended up making scrambled eggs and bacon on toast, but that wasn't the only occasion he did that. I had to make bruschetta one day for all the staff members on my floor. Number 3. The person that made the company mascot outfit, as referred to earlier in this video, had a tailoring business in Thailand. So my boss decided he wanted to open up a side hustle by offering to make men's suits and shirts for the staff members, and he wanted me to learn how to take measurements so we could send the orders to Thailand and have them made. One area I would have to measure was the inner thigh, which meant I had to measure from the crotch area down. I politely declined on the grounds that it was inappropriate, considering I was working for a finance company. Number 4. I was working for an international school in Asia, and my boss, who was the assistant headmaster of the school, would ask teachers who were single mothers to put a detailed teaching program together for summer school, with the premise that they would be teaching that program, which meant they got paid to teach that program. Unfortunately for them, he would have me change it around a bit and add his son's name to that program. And just before summer school started, his son, who was also a teacher in the US, would fly from the US and teach the program that someone else had written. The teacher that put that program together knew what my boss was doing, but felt helpless in reporting it, fearing they could lose their job. I stayed at that school for just over a year, and on my last couple of weeks, I did report it to the head of the school who was based in the US. However, I was made to look like the bad guy for reporting it. Oh well, I tried. Number 5. I had a boss that I found out was having an affair with someone at work who was in a different department on a different floor. I saw an email come through, which he deleted as soon as he saw it, but it was too late. I couldn't unsee what I had seen. I never told a single soul about the affair. Now, I was friendly with my boss's wife. She would come into work to have lunch with her husband, and we used to have a nice chat before they went to lunch. Anyway, his wife started to become suspicious that her husband was having an affair, and she would bring me to find out if her suspicions were true. I had to lie and say that I didn't know what she was talking about, but if she suspected an affair, then she would have to address it with her husband. A week or so later, the wife rang me and started accusing me of having an affair with her husband. I kept assuring her that I was doing no such thing. Then it became messy, and the gossip around the office was that it was me having the affair with my boss, and I couldn't stand it anymore. I went into my boss and told him that he needed to come clean with his wife, Or I would, because now I'm being dragged into this mess. He came clean to his wife, and I think the affair ended. The wife did stay with him, and I stayed for another 8 months or so and moved to another company. I do have a lot more stories I could share, but I will end it here. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and thanks for watching.